Right guys, welcome back to Skylines. We are continuing on to attempt to build the town. So last time we built this pretty awesome junction, which I'm quite pleased about with my double roundabout. Actually, it better bloody work after all the fuss, so we shall see. Okay, so now let's just get into building the town proper. Now this was my 4-lane road. Now, how are we going to do this? Do I want to build the 4-lane road so it actually goes into the town, or do I build this 4-lane road kind of straight on as if it's going to go up there? I think I'm going to build it straight on. I'm going to try and be a little less panicky about this now. So I'm going to try and be a little bit more normal about this than I was before. So for those who don't know, like I tried to... Oh yeah, the brush. How do I turn that off? I always have this with this brush and I always forget. How do I turn you off, brush? There is something which turns this brush off. But I can't remember what. Go away. What is the brush part of? It's part of a lot of different things. Why? This has happened to me before, but I've always been able to make it go away. So it's kind of aggravating me that I can't make it go away. It might be because I've got anarchy turned on or something. This is going to be frustrating as hell if I can't make this go away. See you next time, Wargamer. Thanks for jumping in, buddy. I have to figure this out. I mean, I can obviously just kind of put it to the side, but I really want to get rid of this. I swear that usually what you do is just go onto roads. I'm just going to have to carry on. I can't afford to spend like 20 minutes figuring it out. It's very annoying. Option to do it from options mod settings. Depends on what it is though. Depends on what the thing is. I can't remember what it's called. If you tell me what it's called, then yeah, we can turn it off. If you can't tell me what it's called, then we can't. Surface painter. I had a feeling I knew it was something. Surface painter. So it's tied into that. So basically it's, yeah, when you go into landscaping, it comes up. But then when you turn landscaping off, it doesn't always remove that. It's like a bug, basically. But I can't remember. Like I said, there was always one thing which turns it on and off, and it's surface painter. If you trigger surface painter on and off, it'll get rid of it. Right, let's build on. So, like I say, not getting into so much OCD-ness with this now. Let's come back down to ground level. So I'm going to build this 4-lane kind of up here, almost as if it's going in that direction, just for now. So I kind of build this going in this direction, I guess, like that. Bit of a curve. It's kind of weird how the 4-lane going up high loses its... you know what I mean? It kind of goes this weird grey colour. Not quite sure what that's all about. Okay, so then we want our town to be basically here. So I think I'm literally just going to have an actual proper 4-lane road with a verge coming off down this way. Only trouble is if this road is kind of coming off weirdly like that. What's that? Well, what happened last time? Somebody say I remember the last time I watched your Skylines stream. It's like, yeah, was it just me raging out? I'm just trying to think of like how I want to build the town, because often the best thing to do is to have like a kind of main road through. But do I want to like branch that road? I think I am going to. I think we're going to have like a branch come off. Like this. And then we'll just branch it around. And we'll still have... So I'm just trying to look at the angle on this. Then we'll just get a straight road going down here. Okay, so that's how that's going to be. Perfecto. Okay, I'm actually pretty happy with that. Cool. Okay, so now that's in place. So this can run up here later on. This is going to run across here, and then we'll actually start sort of building our town in this area here. Letting you trolling you, but eventually after 4 minutes you'll know about it. Yeah, okay. Right, so let's start getting actual stuff in place. So we're going to need electricity, we're going to need water. Question is, what kind of electricity? We could build a dam, hydroelectric dam. It was something I wanted to do for ages, was to actually build like a dam here, but I think we'll come to that later on. So we'll start off just by using some more basic electricity, and that may be some wind power up here. I think would probably be quite good. So let's have a look. So we've got like can we build like bigger wind turbines? We've got some really different options. We've got oil, we've got combined cycle power stations. So I've got a lot of stuff unlocked right from the beginning. You've got dream biogas plants, etc., etc. Natural gas combined. It's a steam turbine powered by natural gas. So there's all sorts of options. I think to begin with, we will go for just some wind power up on the hills here. Although weirdly, actually, look, you would think these hills here would be perfect for actual wind power, but no, it turns out actually not. But what I might do, because I've said before, like with this specific build, we should be able to build almost anywhere we want to. But I think what we'll do is we'll have some wind power down here initially, just on this shore, and then we can remove this later on, and I'll get some different stuff in. So we'll kind of edit it as we go. Guys, if you sub, you actually have to make sure you share the sub, otherwise it doesn't come up. UCP Teddy just subscribed. Thank you very much, UCP. Welcome on board, buddy. Thank you very much for the sub. It takes us up to 210. Never build a dam, it rarely works. Not true. I've had it work on 2 of my other playthroughs. Right, so let's get some playing forward actually. So we need to get some roads in here. We need to get some little district roads in. Now, unlike some of my other playthroughs, I'm actually going to go for a bit of a grid on the start off of this one. Go 3 along and down. Good enough, 90 degrees. And then as usual, what I'll do is I'll put like a little lane going through the middle here. Kind of connect that area up. That is a lot of traffic lights. Okay, so let's get some housing in on this. Which I'm going to start off with this little area right here. So this area is going to need electricity. I'm going to put a substation in near the town's edge, so that I'm going to try and, like I say, I'm going to try and make this is a little urban transformer station. So I'm going to put some of these little things in here. I want this build to look somewhat actually realistic. We want to try and get that happening. So I'm going to put like a little substation or something over here, just by the edge of town. There's people building houses there already. Look. So there we are. I'm going to put a little power thingy right there. And then what I'll do is I get some pylons. Now we will run pylons over here just initially. So let's think about where I'm going to go with this. So we're going to go over here, like that. And then I'm going to run them over this way. And then what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put like another kind of, where's the other thing? There's like another substation-y sort of thing somewhere. I think it's, oh, this. So you have an electricity substation. You have this one as well, relay station. So I'm actually going to put like a relay station like right here next to it. Okay, there we go. And then we'll just use like this, like utility poles, to then carry that electricity across. Because we really want this to look sort of better than just having your default stupid poles coming all the way across. And these poles are going to go over to this substation here, look. Okay, there we go. I might just move this guy a little bit to like there. Okay, let's have a little look. So, there we are, like I said, so now we've got our power coming across to our relay station and then coming across over to here. So that's all really cool. We could even put like chain link fencing around this. So our little town is starting to take shape. Right, we're going to need water obviously next. So let's get onto that. So initially, let's have a look. What am I going to build for water production? This little water tower. I wish that there was there probably is a better pumping station, something that looks more like a pumping station than just the default, but we're going to go with the default for now. I'm going to put this one over here. We've got plenty of... Oh, actually, Actually, we could be sneaky. This is another thing I need to decide right now, is where we're going to put the kind of sewage and garbage and all this kind of stuff utility area. Because that's always a thing. We always need to have like garbage collection and utility areas. And, you know, do we want the area bespoilt? So we do need to think a little bit about actually where that's going to be. Suggestions for that. I mean, we could put it across the way here, sort of, you know, tuck some garbage sites into this whole area here, just at the base of the valley. Would that work, guys, you think? You know, we could get like how big is some of these garbage tips? Yeah, look, I mean, if we had a road in there, what do you reckon? We'd have to almost hook it up to the highway, though. Have like a kind of on-off ramp which goes around. It's going to take them a little while to get there, but it would also mean that later we could serve the city, if we have a city over here, quite well. Water's flowing out to sea, obviously, so it goes down that, it's heading that way. So I kind of would rather do that than have garbage anywhere in this area at all. The other alternative is we were to put it sort of over this way. I'm going to put it here. I don't think I really want to have garbage anywhere in this valley. This seems like the most opportune area for me, to be honest. I tell you what, we could have like a bridge which comes across, which is just like a service bridge, and then run a national road straight to here or something. Because this is the thing, I want to do like instead of having big highways everywhere, I want to have like roads which are like a national road just running to one place and back again. So that could actually work quite well. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We're obviously going to have the highway here, but I'm also going to put like a 4-lane just a little further on this way. But we'll just use like a default 4-lane, look. It's still going to have a median strip, but it won't be. So I'm just going to, let's just actually put that straight. So just straight to here, look. Because I think in the future I could... I never believe it when it says it's actually 90 degrees. Okay, so we're going to have that there. Actually, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yes, it might, because we might build more town here later. So I'm going to leave it like that for now. Trooper friend in the stream, welcome back, buddy. How you doing? We'd work on the other side of the river. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so then I'm going to convert this into... we're just going to have a basic road with median, okay? So I'm just going to build... So this is going to be as if we're going off in this kind of direction here, like that. Okay, so that's going to kind of convert into a road like that. And then we're just going to have an absolutely default standard road come off of that, go straight across here, all right? Because we want to come up to that river. And then we're going to have a bridge across here like this. Quite a hefty bridge, by the way. It's quite a serious spanning bridge. Do we want to like go... Does it want to go up a little before we go over? I feel like it does. Yep. I feel like we want to have like a little bit of an incline like that before we go across. And this wants to be built like sort of straight. There we go. Perfect. And then we will just... I'm just going to bring that back a little bit on this one. To there. Okay, and then what we will do... Basically, the reason I'm doing this over here is because we will put our water facilities and other stuff here as well. Okay, so it's not just garbage, but I'm going to put other stuff here as well. Okay, so now this is going to come down. Back to ground level. Make sure that's straight-ish. Okay, perfect. Right, little bit of a high run down there. But that's because I need to get more road in on this bit, right? I think it could always come out a little way, I think. Could stretch this out a bit more. Just like that. Yeah, just like that. Perfect. Okay. Right, so now let's build a bit of road going this way. A bit of road going this way. I'm basically going to have a lot of kind of subsidiary roads running down here. So we'll build it like this. Get out of the way, trees. Okay, that'll do now. Okay, so that'll do just for now. It's a bit of a curve on it here, but that's fine. Might just try and lessen that up a little bit. That's better. Okay, so that's where we're going to be with this. And then also it should be... The only trouble is we might have issues with power, right? But there's always a difference between like kind of water. We could always run like a little lane going across the electricity. And we could always have our water plants actually right here. That could actually work. Kind of next to the power for now. And then have the sewage plants sort of like right here, because they take up a lot more space than the water. The water really takes up very, very little space at all. So I'm actually probably going to put the water like kind of right here, like that. Good place, okay. And then we'll put the sewage one, which for now will just be a water drainage pipe. We'll just put that right here, like. But we can correct that later. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do for now. And that way I can just connect these up like that. The only issue is going to be electricity and getting that over there. That's going to be a ball ache. Why have we not made it yet? So that bridges carry electricity. Okay, so now we'll just get this going up here, and then across here, and then like that. I'm going to try and build my water systems and stuff in a slightly different way than I have before. Probably a more efficient, inefficient way actually. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and follow roads when I put water in, because I think it will make the network neater. It might look not so efficient, but I think it looks neater and it also makes more sense. UCP Teddy on the stream, you're actually the first I've ever subbed to. Thanks so much, man. UCP Teddy on the stream, did you actually share your sub? Because I've actually had a weird thing where subs, when people are subbing at the moment, it doesn't seem to pop up on Twitch alerts when I get new subs. It does when people resub, so at the top of the stream chat, if you didn't share, it won't actually pop up on the stream chat, so I don't know. I've done that, it works. Anyway, right, so now they've got... Okay, so now the only trouble is they've got electricity to the water plant, and that's fine, but they're not going to have electricity here, which sucks. Why can't we have underground cables? Yeah, exactly. It's just... It is what it is. I think rather than actually run electricity over there, what I might do is just put its own little solar plant, like its own solar panels or something. I could just put that next to the road and then run power across it. Might be easier. Oh, there is a little... This actually has power output of 5 megawatts. How much power does that use? Yeah. That's the only challenge with this map, is actually getting electricity across the rivers. And it may be that... well, I'll tell you what we could do, though. Because if we're having, basically, electricity over here... You could have something like a biogas plant over here, because if you're processing if you're processing garbage and stuff anyway, it actually makes sense for there to be a biogas plant over here because you're processing garbage, right? So yeah, that's a thing. I kind of really want to try and avoid putting pylons right the way across the river at this stage, but I think it's almost unavoidable for me. It's just the first beginning. We'll compromise right now, but it's just a beginning, and later on down the line, we will figure it out, okay? So for now, I'm going to run a pylon over to the bridge, okay, and then I'm going to put another pylon here, like on the bridge bit, like so. And then we're going to have to run across, sadly, like that. Try and get it so that it looks semi-smart. Okay, it's not the end of the world. Alright, and then I will at least use standard pylons to get over here. Right, so let's just do that. Oh. Oh god, it's happening! It's not madness.
This is Sparta!
Thank you very much for Sparta. Yaris, of course. How you doing, Yaris? Welcome on board, 66. But this feature works. Good evening to all. It does work indeed. UCP Telly says, first time I subbed, so I had no idea, though it doesn't have to pop up. It doesn't want my attention. Just here to relax. Thank you, Telly. I appreciate that kind of very nice sentiment. Thank you. Right, so... And this is always my relax stream. Whilst we might rage out from time to time, it's all about the relaxing. Right, there we are. Sewage has power now. Everything has power now. It's daytime. We're looking good. The city's looking good. This thing is ready to belch disgusting toxic waste into the river. My beautiful water plant over here is collecting away. The city is starting to grow, and things are looking very, very nice indeed. Got our little... I'm not quite sure the electricity relay station sounds like an oil pumping plant. I don't know, but there you go. Luna, is there any way to nuke a city you've built with semi-accurate physics on any game out at the moment? That sounds really like... that sounds really kind of like fetishy and sort of like yeah, I want to build a city and then like destroy them, and like I only want that. That's the only feature I'm looking for in a game. You could use a meteor to wipe out the towns in this, I guess, but okay, right. People are screaming to come and join my town, so let's satisfy them. Right, so let's build some more residential here. Look, we get some more residential people coming in. As I've said before, it's always important when you start building a town not to overexpand too quickly. Okay, this is the mistake people always make when they start a town. They just fill an area with like residential demand, and then none of it has electricity. It doesn't link up. They start losing money. Like just slowly let it expand naturally. In the stream chat, it is a fetish. I want to blow the shit out of some stuff. Total destruction. Just buy this game, use a meteor, destroy everything. You'll be very happy. Okay, so let's take a look at our burgeoning city. Now look, this is really nice. You know, this is kind of, it's coming together. It's building nicely. This is exactly what we want to see. Guys, have I gone well over the time on this one? Have we gone? Yeah. I don't know. How long have we been? Have I missed my slot? Am I 20 minutes over on this episode? Or have we only just begun? How long have we been going for on this bit? Is it like 20 minutes or is it an hour? Have I gone over time on this one? What did we do in this episode? What happened? Tell me, guys. I need to know because I'm scared that I've gone like way over my time now. I'm not sure. Don't know how long. I don't know. I've lost all track of time. I've been so busy thinking about garbage dumps and everything else. I've totally lost track of time. What are we doing this episode? Yeah, I know it's been 2 hours. I've lost track of how much time. This is always why sometimes my episodes are not like perfect times. What sub didn't come up either? Oh. Aaron and Brown just subscribed. Thank you very much indeed, buddy. Yeah, I think you've got to share. No, you've been going for about 20 minutes in this episode. Thank you very much, TX Boom. Yeah, I'm either there's something up with stream labels where it's not. Do you know what's weird? Like, no, guys, I think what's happening is that when people are subbing, they're not actually sharing their sub. because I'm not seeing it in Streamlabs. So I'm not actually seeing the sub in Streamlabs. So I think when you sub, you've got to make sure at the top of the chat you actually share, because if you don't do that, and then also if you miss, like if you click out of it or you don't do it right, then you miss the opportunity to share. So I think that's what's happening. Okay, now that I know we've been going for about 20 minutes, then that's fine. Right, so the little town is coming together. Now the next thing, the guys want jobs. They want jobs hard. Now the next question, of course, is what kind of jobs? Now we actually do have the ability to make offices and stuff right from the word go. It's actually really, really positive. Yaris, you can change that up. Yaris, if you message support in Twitch, they'll actually change it up. Like a streamer can't do anything. Like if your icon in the stream is not like the correct amount of time, if you're over 2 years, the streamer, the streamer, they can't do anything about it. So you need to actually message Twitch and ask them. Anyway, Arlen Brown, thanks so much for your subscription, buddy. Even though I didn't get that pop up, like I say, make sure if you sub, you need to share it. Well, we had 211 subs now, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, so we need to create some industry. Now the thing was, again, with this build, because I'm doing this build slightly differently, we don't have to start with just horrible industry. We can start with offices if we want to. We can start with forestry if we want to. Now there isn't a lot of forestry around here right now, okay, because this is kind of like the nice area. So I'm probably going to actually start with some offices. I think offices would be a nice kind of place to start with this build, right? So I'm probably going to actually just build like a little office area sort of here on the side of town, I think. Just kind of like right here. I think that'll work. So let's try and see how that goes. So I'm going to build another... We've got one road connection coming up here. Or we could build offices further down in town, or we could build offices sort of here. We could have offices which kind of break up between where the highway is going to be. So maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll build like a little road which goes across this way. It'll be easy for... why is that saying construction already? What? Oh, it's because that. That's the thing, I've got snapping turned off, which isn't helping me. Okay, so let's just build out here like this. Offices requires educated people. Yep, they do require that. It's very, very true. However, it's not true that you have to wait quite as long as the game always wants you to. So I think that I think we can get away with fixing that our own way later. But it's true, actually, yeah. I think I won't go ahead and just build... I was actually thinking that as I was doing it, that you do need to wait until you have some further education before you do offices. Valenia, I'm going to spam the support. I've been sitting on 3 months for 4 months. Yeah, you should too, dude. You really should. It's all good. I don't think I bypassed any instructions, but I could be mistaken. Well, I'll message Twitch alerts and I'll message some guys, or Streamlabs even, and see what the deal is. But I don't think there's any issue on my end, because I've had a few people sub on previous streams and it's been no issue, so I don't know what it is. Okay, yeah, the office is just going to get filled up with PPI cold callers because they've got no education. Let's just get some industry then. But the thing is, where we're going to build our industry, well, it's going to have to be out here. It's the only place we're going to be able to get industry happening is here. There's no way that I'm going to be building industry in this area. The only other area we could build industry is sort of here. Don't really want to do that though, but it would assist us from splitting our traffic. So I think we'll start off actually. I think this little area right here will be a reason. It's by water though. That's the only trouble. It's by our water source. Choking on myself. So let's get a little bit of industry. Let's because we're gonna have water treatment here. I'll start off with some industry, but we'll kind of close it down pretty quickly. The only positive here is that later, you see there's like this nice little flat bit here. We could get a dock here, and we could have the industry right next to the dock. So that could actually become like a little industry area here. So this could actually work out all right, I think. So let's just put in a road here. Again, like we'll just put in a straight little bit like this. The music is sounding very kind of dangerous in the background here. Like, I know it's natural disaster. By the way, we still have natural disasters turned on, which should terrify me after last time, because we all remember what happened last time. But Yes, it's currently still turned on, so fingers crossed, I guess. Okay, so let's just start putting in some default industry around here. I'm just going to kind of fill this in here like that. And like that. Now, electricity is not quite close enough, so I'm just going to put in like one of the small substations again. Like this. That should help. It's going to need water, but again we can just branch that off along here. That should work just fine. Okay, play on. Brown says, yours is the first Skylines video YouTube or Twitch that doesn't build to a grid, much more aesthetically pleasing. Why would you build to a grid permanently? It's so tedious. It's so boring. Like, I don't know why people do that. This light on the ground, I always want this to be brighter, and I'm sure that's an option that I have just not enabled. So it's in graphics, or... I think I looked for this before. Gameplay... Ah, mouse light intensity during night. Let's turn that right up. Seeing as we had like... I'm going to turn the random disaster frequency down a little bit. Seeing as last time... See, it doesn't seem that much brighter, but it's brighter. I've turned the disasters down a little bit, seeing as last time we had 2 tidal waves in a row, and it basically obliterated the city off of the map, right? So... okay, let's go on. Now, just in some stream news, like I said... in some stream news, we've got some more emotes coming in. I'm also currently working to try and get in place the tier 2 and 3 subscriptions as well, so that stuff's coming on the way. Right. I'm only here to get a town named after me. Yes, the town naming will be a thing, but we're obviously not quite at that stage yet. Right, let's build some more residential here, because people are desperate to come to my town. They want to live here, they want that coastal lifestyle. They want to come and live in the beautiful valleys of Whitford Peak. Whitford Peaks, even. It's called Westfield right now. It's obviously, we don't want to call it that. Okay, let's get that in. Right. So, no spoilers, I'm only on episode 10 of Aurora. Only episode 10 of Aurora? That's like so far back. I've got so much to go forward with Aurora. Like, you know, I've got many episodes to come up on that one. But we do have some disasters later on, as you'd expect, being natural disasters. Okay, so let's have a think. Well, we need some commercial. Let's get some little low-density commercial in. I'm actually going to put the commercial sort of out here, so we'll get a bit of that going on. Just put that like there. We'll just put a little bit of commercial sort of on the outside of town. Just realised that's right next to that substation. Oh, you know what, let's put a little bit commercial right there as well. Look, let's get a bit of that in the mix. And that's got plenty of water and everything, so it's all coming together. Let's speed up a little bit. Okay, so we need more funds coming in and everything like this. It'll all work out. We've got more kind of services than we can deal with. There's a lot of crime. A lot of crime for a small town, so I think we had better try and deal with that by getting some police action in the mix. We need a rural police station at this stage, so obviously I'll just get that in there. We can have this guy look here on the corner. He'll be good to go. Oh, except it's just occurred to me that in order for the police, this is always an issue, right? What I actually need to do is I need to put the police station there. Because if you put it like that, because they come up on that side of the road, what will happen is they'll have to go all the way down and come all the way back again. So if I put it here, they'll do that. Look, so he'll come straight out of here and he can go straight into this area. They're going to catch those crimos, lock them up, throw away the key. Bit of weed in your pocket, 20 years, bang. Sorted. Well, look, okay, we've resolved our industrial and we've resolved our commercial, but we have big residential demand. So let's keep building our residential in. And I can probably actually, at this stage now, we can probably just bang, fill in that whole area. Okay, also we're going to start building some more residential roads. Jesus, it's so dark at night time. Didn't I say the other day that I'm kind of, where's the day-night cycle thing? Let's just go to our options here, because we do have options for day-night cycle. I think it's under what is it under? Is it under surf? I always forget this. Is it even under that? No, it's under something else. What is it under? Oh, is it under rush hour? Time. 24-hour clock, daytime progression. So daytime is at 25%. Nighttime progression is multiplier is 1. I actually think it should be 2 at nighttime. Sunrise hour is at 4:40 a.m. and sunset is at 10 p.m. I actually think the sunset could be much. Oh yeah, so sunset's actually quite late. Yeah. Okay, we'll apply that. It looks like the sun is coming up though. Yeah, so 4:45, sun's coming up, so it's all good. It's just that when it's dark, it's really dark at nighttime, and it makes it actually quite difficult to build. 20 years for that, I don't want to live there. Sorry, LT. Yeah, I was joking. I was making a joke about the severity of of like US laws when it comes to these kind of things. It's just kind of like, it's so insane. But anyway, okay, so let's get some actual roads in right here. So we've got a little bit of space just like here behind the town. You know, it's always like, it's funny, whenever I start these little builds, I sometimes feel a little bit kind of, before I start a stream and before I start these kind of builds, I sometimes feel a bit like, oh my god, do I want to start? Here, I'm going to actually build a curved road up behind here, and we're going to kind of hug the edge of the valley a little bit, and then we're going to have a nice direct road coming up there like that. Yeah, so as I've described before, I don't like to build to a grid. I like to kind of feel it out. However, with this specific build, like I said, there'll be some design choices like this nice junction here, which as you can see is actually working pretty well now. It's looking really cool. Liking our junction very much here. There goes our little ice cream van or whatever that is. Off he goes, off to town and things. Here's some guys coming into town, look. Motorbike, a couple of cars. Working very nicely. Damn, this guy's got some money to be spending coming living out here. He's getting in on the ground floor. He knows where to spend his money. Look, if we've got people like this coming to the city already, then we know where we're at. FedEx truck in the mix. Lots of wow, look, big spender. Look at this guy as well. Little it's Mr. Burns. Posh bastards. Well, maybe, yeah. We've got a little bit of industry happening down here as well, so that's all good. One thing I'll do is, again, with Surface Painter, when we have like the concrete area, you want to sort of paint this in, look, so that it actually does look like a proper industrial area. Right, we'll come back to that. Okay, so currently we still will need an actual garbage dump. The guys aren't asking for that yet. They are asking for residential. They are asking for residential like crazy. People want to live here so bad. Okay, so let's just fill in this area. So we get more residential coming in. I always try to not fill in right off of a main road because I often want to put parks and plazas there, and I think that you always want to put your residential just like back from like a main highway thoroughfare. It's really important that when you're starting to build a map that you always put like a big kind of artery, a big vein kind of running up and down the middle, because, and then also if you put parks and stuff there, you can move them around. You don't have to necessarily yeah, he could have the car on finance, it's true. Okay, so we've made a small dent in our residential, but actually, pleasingly as well, unlike our previous cities when we've had like issues with kind of the amount of people coming to join the city, there's actually a lot of people wanting to join this city right now. So let's keep expanding. Get some roads going on out here. And I think we can, let's have a look. I'm kind of like having these, I'm going to like having these kind of weaving roads. I'll tell you one thing that's an issue is that we've got a problem right here because Prop and Tree Anarchy is on. God damn it. Right. For some reason Prop and Tree Anarchy was on, which means that when you build roads, it doesn't move the trees off of the way. Which is not always, I don't know how long I've had that on for. I swear I only just put that on. As you can see now, sort of moving these trees off of here. There we go. There we go, that should be fine. Right, these guys are obviously screaming for water because we haven't extended water in this direction just yet. So let's just bring my water out that way. Okay, so let's have a look. So, yeah, so we're going to have the roads sort of weaving out here. Now we've got this other 4-lane road, and like I say, I want to kind of really, I want to bring that up here for now. So we'll just continue with some roads kind of rolling in this direction. I'm going to actually move this 4-lane on a little bit as well. Sort of downtown here. And it's not straight, which is going to trigger some people, including me. I did that too quickly. I was not paying attention to it, and I did it too fast. It's good enough. It's good enough. Look, have you disabled angle snap on purpose or forgot it? Angle snap? No, snap's on. Angle snap. You mean snapping? Or do you mean bending? Toggle road bending. Yeah, it's turned off. It's a pain in the ass. Okay, so back to normal roads. So kind of, you know, I can go on a little further with this road, and then we can reconnect it. So not too much further. I'm just going to go like this, and then I think basically from about here we'll just reconnect that up. And then, like usual, I usually connect these central bits up with a little lane, a little two-way lane, because you can usually maximize the amount of stuff that you get out of it. However, you can see one thing you can do if you want to get the maximum like residential on one side, you can put like a little pathway or something down this side. So for example, if I go to paths or cycle lanes or stuff like this, what you can do is you can just put like a little, there already is obviously a pathway going down here, but for example if I was to like take a cycle lane or something, trying very hard not to sneeze right now, and I do that, see how it flips all of that over? Now there is another way around that as well. You can either build, you can actually de-zone some roads now, okay? So if you could go here, and then it's this tool, okay, zoning. So you can actually then disable zoning off of some roads, you see, and it'll flip the whole lot over. The only trouble with that is that it obviously does it on both sides of the road, and you might not want to. However, you can always do it on some of it, you see, so it's like, if you do it on this part, it's giving me some area back. So you could always kind of, I might de-zone part of that, have residential here, and then on this area here, like have commercial, and then I might just fill trees or something in that area, you know, something aesthetic. Salty. Tag meme is strong. What's going on here? Good egg, everyone. What's happening? It's I'm getting confused. I'm just playing on. It's fine. Okay, more residential still want to come in here, so let's give them what they want. Let's keep filling in that residential. Okay, so I need more water coming down here, and again I can get this like so. The tagging. So like I say, a little inefficient with the actual coverage of the water pipes. Usually I do it in kind of just total straight lines, but this time around I kind of just want to follow it off of the grids. But everything's working very well so far, which is good times. We're getting a little bit of industry requirement yet again, so I might just expand the industry slightly. I'm actually going to leave a little gap when it comes to the industry right here, so there's a bit of space in between, and that way I can actually put in some decor of my own. So I might just put like this. I kind of like to spread out the industry rather than have it all together, you know. Town is coming. We're still in the red, I know, because we haven't. Oh, well, we could actually bump up our. That should help us out a little bit. So no wonder so many people were wanting to come to the city. It was cheap as hell. Okay, now another thing we should do is, again, we should get some little lanes here, look. And we can just have some lane connections coming down the hill. I think actually here, let's just get a curved lane coming down like that. Now we're going to need some fire departments pretty soon because we haven't got that in yet. But I would like, if I can, to see the weekly income rise a little bit. But we're going to need a lot more people in the town before we can do that, really. We can fill in this area now, seeing as we have... I might leave this area here for like a little park or something, actually. So let's just fill in some of these other bits. We've got some of these little areas here for housing up on the hill, so... But I think we can go ahead and start kind of like... I might leave this for like a little extra connection off of here, but... So I'm going to leave some spaces where I might want to connect stuff up, right? It's all looking very good. Oh, that's cool. We've got the police station here. And then just right opposite we've got the Law Accounting. Pancakes International. And some other subsidiary random shop. Right. We're not doing very good on weekly change at the moment either, but I think that's sort of changing up as we have more people coming in. But it's not looking too bad. It's not a too bad... It's a little beginning. You know, it's a little beginning in Whitford Peak. I'm kind of quite liking it. I'm also liking our junction here and the kind of like, you know, pre-prepared potential alternate stuff going on. Got our industrial area. Right. So I think the next one we should probably start doing is actually zoning areas, guys. I think it's, you know, we've built our burgeoning districts and we should probably zone them up. It's going to be the next thing to do. So, if you have not been part of my streams before, then what happens on the streams is basically when I create new zones and new areas, they're always given up to stream subs. So if you're a sub of the stream, you can have areas named after you, and that's going to be obviously the case with this playthrough. So we're going to have obviously 2 new areas. We're going to have the also there's a bit of an accolade to get the main town first, because obviously the main town is usually really important. It usually plays a big part in the development of the town. So that's going to be up for grabs in a second. Right, I'm just going to... Oh, of course, it's not quite... This is a pain in the ass with these water pipes, I swear to God. Right, there we go. So we're going to have the industrial area. That's going to be our first district that we have. And then this town here is going to be basically the next new area. Because until we make anything else, this town is pretty much going to be it. I may change the zone here when we build the offices, but for now, this is going to be it. So, submit your applications, please, guys, in stream chat, if you wish to be the very first town on Whitford Peak. And you will be named accordingly. So if you want this area named after you guys, shout it in the chat. Not Walnut Hills, though. That's not going to be anything. This is our first area. This is another thing they could do with improving, is just the way you zone. I'm getting better at doing this freehand, but it's not the easiest thing. Something that I've thought about before, though, is actually just zoning areas so that you can name them. So you could name this junction, because then when you're clicked off of it, it actually still shows up on the thing, which I thought. Right, let's have a look down here. Museka was the first person to shout out. Oh god, we're going to be back to having like really, really long-winded descriptions where it's like blah 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 blah. Museka, I'm just trying to think of like something which kind of fits stylistically within the map where I can kind of go. Wow, look at the Aurora Borealis over our city, guys. YouTube thumbnail. Nice. Looks so cool. Did Boom shout out first? There's only one way to find out. Fight! It's a hard one. I'm going to let the D20 decide. The D20 of power. Oh, that's another thing, guys. Yeah, so there was another emote I thought of. Another idea was D20. Because D20 comes into quite a big role very often in our streams. So I thought, like, okay, if we have a D20 emote, then if people are like, if I'm like, how should we decide, or what should we do, or da-da-da, if people think it needs to be a random decision, D20. So we can have D20 emote. Is that a good idea? Is that a bad idea? I think it's a good idea. Okay, first town, 1 to 10, Museka. 11 or up. Boom. Okay, here we go. You're kind of trusting me a bit, but honestly. Okay, ready? 13. It's boom. Boom. Shakalaka. And I'll put Museka in on the industry because he was second in command. And then Timajay, you'll be in the mix on the next thing. So yeah, we'll go for Boomtown because obviously it's pretty cool. Boomtown. And then we'll have... let's have a see. Sorry, Museka. Let's have a look. We'll have Museka Avenue. Or Museka, do you want Museka Avenue or Museka Industries? That's your two options. Luton, I would have done odds versus evens. Oh, come on. What difference does it make? It's still random. What should we go for? Museka Avenue, Museka Industries. Industries? I think Industries sounds better. Okay, there we go. So we've got Museka Industries over there. And we've got Boomtown, which is already glitched out. Christ, maybe it's not meant to be. How come the name is like glitched out and I literally just put it down? That happens sometimes, the names do glitch out. Okay. That's it. I think I'm going to call it on that episode. We just named our new towns, so we will save up. And we'll come back in part 3. Where we basically need to try and get ourselves back in black. That's the thing that we need to do. Because, yeah, we've got people coming into the town. We've got a big residential demand. But ultimately, yeah, we need to sort of work down the line here. What's this? Thank you for the follows on Twitter, guys. Okay, well, see you next time on some more Whitford Peak. We will be coming back and expanding, trying to make the city work and seeing what happens next. Alright, guys, I'll see you then.